Welcome back. This is Tori and Nancy Maney.
Hi,
Again,
guys.
this is part two of our interview. And Nancy, this time we're going to talk a little bit. She's been studying for many, many years to become a chaplain.
Yes,
So, can you
I'm a
tell us about
multi-faith
that?
chaplain, and as such, I've been working with people of all religions and no religion, especially when they're in situations of dire emotional, physical stress. Times when people might be facing death, they might be facing emotional loss, or the family members of people who could be dying or could be under threat of loss, or pregnancies that might not be going well, things that are, those turning points in our lives that are very, very stressful. They do happen to us all. It's a universal thing. Doesn't matter what your socioeconomics are or what your faith belief is. Hopefully, most of us have something that we can lean on, whether it's spiritual, whether it's love, whether it's family and friends, but we have something that we can lean on during these times. As a multi faith chaplain, my role is to be there as a listening and supportive presence for the person. I've learned a lot in doing this because as a chaplain, I am supposed to be there for that person. I am not there to offer advice. I'm not there to tell the person what to do. I am there to help them unfold their own feelings and thoughts. When a person is in that kind of a state, they really aren't certain what they're thinking of. And I'm sure many of you have been in those situations where you have so many emotions going at once, you don't really know how you feel. Um, you might be angry, but you don't know if anger is really the right thing. You might be wanting to lash out at someone, um, but then you don't feel if that's appropriate. Um, you might really be sad. Um, and the thing that I've learned is that all of those emotions need to be shared, they need to be explored. Um, at the end of this process, the person will then more fully understand how they really feel and what steps they need to take for themselves. But during this process, they'll go through a variety of different emotions that aren't necessarily the truth. They're just layers of things they need to go through. And it's very similar to being a very good friend. A lot of times, your best friends are your listening presence for you when you're going through times of trouble. And you share with them or with a chaplain these random emotions that don't have a home place for you. They're just thoughts that you have that you just feel you need to vent. You need to get them out someplace. And hopefully, with a close friend, you found a safe harbor where you can say things and not be judged, because you might not feel that way tomorrow after a good night's sleep. And you don't want that feeling to then be turned and thrown back at you because it's not how you feel the next day. So, as a multi faith chaplain, I'm there to take those feelings on and not hold on to them, and to be able to visit the person the next day and find a different person, and to be present for that different person, and to know that the person has worked on themselves with whatever spiritual support or family and friend support has intervened in the meantime. Maybe they watched a TV show or a movie that struck a chord in them, that allowed them to see the situation in front of them in a different light, and allowed them, with the light of the next day, to see that situation differently. um, I've found that oftentimes people in these situations are unable to directly talk to the people closest and most involved. They need to lean on, say the situation is they might die and they don't want to talk to their husband about this. Or they might be thinking about a divorce or a separation, but they don't know how to talk to their husband or their significant other about this. So they lean on someone else. And in doing that, they unfold all these emotions and they unfold all these thoughts. And maybe there's only three of them that end up standing the test of, yeah, these are the feelings that really matter. These are the feelings that really come from my heart and stand the test of a good night's sleep. So these are the three feelings I'm going to share with this person.
Right.
Now, a chaplain, if that chaplain took that first view, or if a close friend took that first run through of random emotions and feelings and said, that's how this person thought, or that's what this person said, it's really breaking a sacred trust, because that's what the role is of a chaplain to a person, or of a close friend to a person. It's a sacred trust. It's a trust that I can be as messy as I am in all my humanness, and you won't judge me. You won't take me out of context. You'll wait and see where I end up. Did I express that right?
No, I think you expressed it right, because it's a right to privacy, and it is a sacred right, and it's a very important thing, because otherwise people don't have anyone to share with.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of us can't, for whatever reason, it's best to share it with a friend or someone else, and that should be respected and honored.
And oftentimes chaplains are called the intimate stranger, because just like when you're on an airplane
I like
and you get that person next to you and they're a stranger, and somehow the sharing between you is so intimate, you can't believe you're sharing these things, but the plane lands and you're gone and you
Right.
never meet that person again.
Right.
But it was so intimate.
Right.
You got to unload everything because you're never going to see this person again.
Right.
And it's so healing when you can do that.
Totally.
Because they don't know your backstory. They don't know what you're going to do next. And those kind of conversations, the intimate stranger, are precious.
Totally.
They're very precious.
Very precious. And a couple things I'd like to add that I've learned just from being in a situation sort of where I didn't have people to talk to
Right.
for a while.
Right.
And if you're in that position, for me, for healing, like, you gave me some great books that really helped me, because I was kind of out on a limb all by myself for a while. And Nancy gave me some books, and they would really bring peace to my heart. When I would be really upset, I would read those books, and that would help. So you can always look, you can always go to the self. And this is for people in any kind of odd organization where you feel like you have to follow some path. You can always go look in the self-improvement and see there's a whole realm, there's a whole rainbow of wonderful books that can help you in whatever you may need, which might be different than what someone else needs. And the other thing is three things for me that help. One was the books. Two, I always journal. I've journaled forever, because it's unloading. When you don't have someone to talk to, you can just write it down. And there's just something about people who say, oh, I can't sleep at night. I say, get a journal, write it down. And my friend at Weight Watchers the other night started doing it. And she said, you know what? It worked, because you're emptying your head. And the third thing is music, because music is very, very healing to the soul. And it doesn't evaluate. It's just wonderful. It's beautiful. And it can definitely give you a peace that, when you're upset.
It touches you at a different place.
Yeah. So anyway.
And I think that it's important to say that most people that come back from what they call a near-death experience, they all talk about the music.
Yeah.
I don't think if you Google near-death experience, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of people who explain that they've had a near-death experience, but one for one, they talk about this music.
Right.
And they all say that it is nothing on earth that they have heard touches that mystical sound that they heard during that experience. So I really feel that music touches the soul.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Deeply.
No question about it. Well, thank you for coming.
You're
so
welcome.
much. I mean, you've been such a help to me over the years, and I've loved our friendship. And I'm really proud of you that you're now
so much. I'm now a chaplain.
Really wonderful. We've been through a lot. So
and if you
really
ever
great.
need a chaplain, you guys know where to find me.
All right. Well, I love you. Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out.
Peace out. All right. We'll talk to you soon.